I got to rename myself.
Are you okay doing the slides and then I'm just helping you out with the chat and stuff?
So good evening, and we'll get started here in a few minutes. We'll just see if we have anybody else that wants to log into the meeting. We'll just wait a couple more minutes here, make sure everybody gets logged in. All right, so it is 6:30. So I'm hoping that everybody that was wanting to come is logged in and ready. So I just wanted to welcome you all to the Virtual Learning Basics for parents in grades K through 6. My name's Stephanie Archer. I'm one of the district speech therapists. I've worked in Evans Elementary and Bell Avenue, as well as the middle school. And last year I had worked in a lot of the elementaries since I was working with the curriculum department. So I just wanted to take the time to welcome you. I did want to let you know that this session is going to be recorded for future professional development and for viewing of others who couldn't make it tonight. So tonight we're going to be covering the topic of virtual learning basics for parents, so that you're ready for this experience that we're going to take together this year. And if you could, while we're presenting, if you could put your questions in the chat. We'll answer those once the presentation is finished, just to see if any of the questions you may have during the presentation are answered throughout the presentation. So Sam, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, yeah, I'm Sam Christopher. I'm the librarian at Alden and East Lansdowne Elementary Schools. And I just want to say thank you for joining us tonight. And we have a lot to cover, so I'll let Stephanie take it away.
All right, thank you. All right, so like I said, we are all here for Virtual Learning Basics for Parents. So welcome. Tonight we have planned going over the basics of the Google Learning Google Learning System Management System platform that we're using. So first of all, I just wanted to clarify, I know on Tuesday night when we did this, that there were some questions about the differences between virtual versus Cyber Academy. So Cyber Academy required prior registration, and once the buildings are back open so students can go back into the buildings, the Cyber Academy students will continue online even when the school buildings reopen. If you had any questions pertaining to Cyber Academy, the information that's on the screen now is how you can reach out to get those questions answered. So virtual learning is what's happening across the rest of the district. So since the school buildings are closed, we're doing 100% virtual learning. So once the school buildings do reopen, these students will return to the buildings. For the Cyber Academy, there will be a separate session to address all Cyber Academy technology. It will be held on September 10th at 6:30. All right, so what are we going to talk about tonight? Tonight, we're going to talk about the parent and student virtual learning expectations, asynchronous and synchronous learning. Those are some of the things that you're going to be hearing a lot of as we get into the school year. The Chromebook Basics, Gmail, Google Classroom, Google Meet, and the virtual learning app. So we'll start off with the student and family expectations. The district has developed some online learning expectations, and I believe that they are located on the William Penn SD or the William Penn School District homepage. And they go outline what's expected of the student and what's expected of the family, as well as what's expected of the teachers during this virtual learning experience. So just some things to highlight: the students are expected to be online from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. And Wednesday is an asynchronous learning day, where teachers will have some office hours during that time to address asynchronous learning. An example of what the synchronous or the Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday schedule would look like. This is the kindergarten schedule. So this is just a sample. That's not, the teachers are not being held accountable to the minute, but this is just a sample schedule of what the day could look like. Each teacher will be putting together a schedule for the students to follow. And so you should be receiving that once we get into the virtual learning experience from your child's teacher. This is the same type of example schedule, but this is for grades 1 through 6 as opposed to kindergarten. So what is asynchronous, or what are asynchronous and synchronous learning? So we have a little video here for you to show the differences between asynchronous and synchronous learning.
Synchronous. How do we learn in a synchronous way? It's live, daily live interaction. It can be with your teacher. It can be in small groups with your peers while you're learning together. It can be face-to-face, 6 feet apart, social distancing, in a classroom if you need to be here. Live interaction learning. Synchronous. Asynchronous. How do we learn in an asynchronous way? Not live. Watching videos that our teacher has recorded. Maybe working at home at my table with my textbook. Maybe working in my Google Classroom by myself on assignments. Asynchronous. Not live. Kind of all by yourself, alone, independent working. Let me show you some examples of synchronous and asynchronous learning.
All right, so that was just an example of the difference between asynchronous and synchronous. So synchronous means that when you are with your teacher and you're actively engaged with your teacher, and asynchronous, like they said in the video, is more of the independent work or working on alone. All right, so the next thing we're going to cover here is Chromebook Basics. So basic login information. You're going to become very familiar with the williampennsd.net email, as well as the password for it. So the email setup for most students is lastname.firstname@williampennsd.net, and the password is their 6-digit lunch number, and then WP at the end, and the WP must be lowercase because the password is case sensitive. For some names that have maybe a hyphen or an apostrophe, the email might look a little bit different. So if you're having difficulty with the email or the password, reach out. I would start by reaching out to your student's teacher and seeing if they have that information so that you can get the right login information. Oops. And we'll go here. So look at how to activate your Chromebook. And I know some of this is kind of tricky because you don't have the Chromebooks with you at this time. But to activate your Chromebook, you can turn it on by pressing the power button and then selecting the Wi-Fi network. If your Wi-Fi network's not working, that's nothing that has to do with the school district. That would be something that you would have to reach out to your internet provider regarding. And then the password too goes with your internet. And then once you're connected to the Wi-Fi, like I said, you'll be prompted to enter your email address, which is that last name, first name, and then the password, which I said was the lunch number plus the lowercase WP. On the Chromebooks, it already has the @williampennsd.net, so you will not have to type that in. And then again, the lunch number with the WP at the end. You accept the agreement, and you'll be logged on. And when your Chromebook opens up, it'll open up to the William Penn SD or William Penn homepage for the district. All right, for Gmail, again, your student's Gmail is that last name dot first name @williampennsd.net. Oops, forgetting about my links here tonight. So here's a little presentation on this. Why don't we'll do this one instead. Loading. Sorry, I apologize. It's loading slow.
Good evening, parents, and welcome to our presentation this evening. I'm going to present the basics of using your child's email. When you open a new tab on the Chromebook, you will see the Gmail page open up. You will click here where it says Gmail. On the next, you will see any Gmail accounts you may have, and your main one will open. To access your child's account, you want to click on their address here. After you click there, the next page will look like this. It is asking you to verify your child's account. So you want to make sure that your child's account is listed here, and then you're going to click Next. After you click the Next button, you will be entering the password here. The password is your child's lunch number with the letters WP at the end. You can see the example above. If you need your child's lunch number, please reach out to your homeroom teacher. When you click Next, you will see a page that looks like this. To access the Gmail and any messages from the child's homeroom teacher, you will click Gmail. Your next page will have your inbox. When you click on the inbox, it will show any messages or work that has been released for you to do from your child's homeroom teacher. If you wish to send a message, you are going to click on Compose. You will type in the address of the recipient, a subject of what you wish to speak about, and then you will type your message in here. When you are ready to send it, you click Send. I know that was short and simple. I hope it was helpful.
All right, so that's the basics on how to get into your Gmail. So Google Classroom. Google Classroom is the learning management system that the William Penn School District is using to organize assignments for your students and throughout the district. So in this presentation, there's a link to the Parent's Guide to Google Classroom, and it kind of goes through all the basics for Google Classroom. And I know that that most teachers were using it last year in the spring, so there should be some exposure to it. So like I said, the Google Classroom is just a learning management system. It's where assignments are going to be posted, and announcements will be posted in the stream of the Google Classroom. And so you can access it again with that williampennsd.net email address and password. So you want to go to the Google Chrome browser on the Chromebook, and then type in, go to google.com. And then in the corner, in the top right-hand corner, there'll be a little sign-in button that you'll click to make sure that your student's logged in. And I will say too that one thing that's important to keep in mind is that if you're using a personal device, and that computer is logged into any other Gmail accounts, if you're having difficulty accessing things for William Penn, make sure that you're logged out of those other Gmail accounts, because sometimes that interferes with you being able to access some of the William Penn materials. So once you've entered in that your child's Google email address and the password, you'll go up to you'll see that you're signed in for the Google Apps for Education, and you'll go to the 9 dots up in the top corner, and those are sometimes referred to as the waffle. And again, this will be something that you'll become familiar with, because when you click on that, it has this drop down here that shows all of the Google apps. And this is where it's going, the Gmail is housed, the Google Drive is housed. The classroom is housed, Google Docs, which is kind of the word processing component of Google, and Google Slides, which is like a PowerPoint presentation. So just know too that these apps might be in a different order on your Chromebook, and that's okay. But that's how you will access the apps to find the Google Classroom app. So these are just some of the icons that you might want to become familiar with that are on that drop down. Like I said, the classroom is you know, where your students' assignments are going to be housed. And Google Meet is and the synchronous learning that's taking place. The teachers are going to be using Google Meet to organize those synchronous learning sessions. So once you click on the classroom, screen will come up with, it'll have like little squares on it, and it'll have your student's classroom on there. It'll indicate that it's from your student's teacher. So you'll click on the class. And then in the classroom, it has different components. It'll bring you, the first page that you'll see a banner at the top, and then you'll see, you'll be on the stream. The stream is typically where teachers put important information and messages that they want the whole class to reach. Up here where it's tab 4, or where it says tab 4, Classwork, this is where all your students' assignments will be housed. So if you click on the Classwork tab, you'll be able to see what's been assigned to your student. The People tab just shows who's in the classroom. So the things that you want to kind of like are good to know for parents are the Classwork tab, and then also next to the stream there's a section that says upcoming, and that will say will tell you any upcoming assignments that your student may have due. So once you go into the Classwork tab, there will be assignment details. And there'll be like kind of a header that you can click on, and then typically a drop down will come with more specifics on the assignment within that drop down. So you can also view, you can turn on the parent view as a guardian. Guardians do not have the access to the Google Classroom, but you will get a summary of what the student work is and the classroom activity. And you can select, I think it's either a weekly summary or a daily summary, but that's something that you can get connected to and have sent to your email. So like I said, it's not access to the Google Classroom, but it gives you a summary of the work that's due and the activity of your child in Google Classroom. So, and the great thing about Google is that since it's online, you can access it on your smartphone, a tablet, or the computer. So as long as you have the Google apps, or if you have an Android, that you have the apps on your device, you'll be able to access it anywhere that you go. All right. So moving on to Google Meet. Like I said, Google Meet is the video conferencing tool that's going to be used for synchronous learning. So again, there's we have a presentation here linked out for more specifics of Google Meet. All right, and like I said, it's a video conferencing tool that allows their students to engage with their teachers and classmates, and it'll be used for synchronous learning. So students must be logged into their school-issued Gmail or Google account. So again, this is where if you're having difficulty signing into the Google Meet, you just want, if you're using your home machine, you just want to, or device, you might want to make sure that you're not logged into any other Gmail accounts, because that might interfere with you being able to log into Google Meet. And there are a few ways that teachers may let students know about Google Meet. In the classroom that we just discussed, on the banner when you first open the classroom, the Meet link might be posted. Don't worry if it's not posted there. The teachers do have the ability to turn that link on and off. So if it's not present, then they're hiding it at the time, and they'll let you know when that link is there if they want you to connect through that way. Option 2 is that the teacher may post the link to Google Meet in the stream. So remember, if you remember when you open up Google Classroom, the stream is what comes up. That was the first thing that you see. So they might put in their announcement that they want you to click on that link that's in the stream. So once you log into the Google Classroom, you will just simply click on the link that they provided within the stream. The third option is that you could go to meet.google.com, or you can also access this page by going to those 9 dots or that waffle in the top right-hand corner and clicking on it, and finding that Google Meet icon and clicking on it, and it'll bring you to this home page here. And you'll click join or start a meeting and put the nickname. Your teacher will have given you a nickname to put in the box when you want to join or start a meeting. And then you'll click continue. And then once you've clicked the link or entered the Meet nickname, you'll be taken to a screen that looks similar to this. And there'll be a button over here that says join now. You'll want to click on that. And you're in you'll be in the Google Meet then, and you should be able to see your students' teachers as well as their peers. Now, if you do get some pop-ups that say allow the microphone and camera use, you want to allow that so that your student is able to be seen and heard within the Google Meet. So at the bottom of the Google Meet page, there's 3 basic controls. There's a mute button, which is the microphone, and if it's got a line through it, that means that you're muted. If you want to, when you're ready to end the call, you hit, click the one that looks like a little phone and it hangs up. And the camera is the one that allows your student to be seen. So if there's a line through it, then that means that the camera is turned off. Up in the top right-hand corner, there is a chat function. And so that will allow your teacher to send messages or links to the lessons and materials that the class and the students may need. And it also allows people to communicate without having to speak during the session. You can also turn on closed captioning. Down at the bottom, there's a button that says turn on captions, and if you click on that, it will provide closed captioning for the Google Meet. Down in the bottom right-hand corner, there's also 3 little dots, and that will open up this pop-up here that allows you to change the layout or make it to full screens, turn on the captions, as well as some other options within there. All right. So that was Google Meet. And so here, so I know that was a lot of information and a lot of, and most people don't have devices, especially if you're getting one from the district. So in an effort to help you have this information at your fingertips once you do have the Chromebook in front of you, a virtual learning app with materials showing you how to access those things that we just discussed was developed. So in this app, when you put you put the link in within the browser on your smart device, this will be what it looks like when it opens up. And so down at the bottom here, it gives information on how to add this to your phone. So you can actually pin this just like an app that you would buy in the App Store or at Google Play. So it gives directions on how to pin this to the screen of your phone. So in case you're having some technical difficulties with your devices or logging in or any of those things that we just ran through, you can have this on your phone. And for all of the topics that we covered tonight, there's both video directions and written directions for all of them. It also provides a link for contact information if your questions aren't answered with these top 4 tabs, and any important messages. There won't be like a notification that comes up, but you might want to check this from time to time because there might be an important video or written message within the app. So if you are interested in pinning that app to your phone, this is the web address to go to. And like I said, once you put this into your browser within your smart device, this should pop up on your phone. And if you go down to that bottom link there and click that, it'll show you how to pin it to your phone so that you can have it at your fingertips in case you run into any technology problems with your device. All right, and I know that was a lot of information in a short amount of time, so I'm sure that we have some questions. So Sam?
we got this question twice. It is, will students be able to see their teachers while online?
And it
Yeah,
depends on however the teacher chooses to present the information. But yes, it's within Google Meet, they can see their teacher. Even when they're in present mode, it'll come up kind of almost as a split screen. They'll see what the teacher's presenting, and then the teacher can be seen on the side. If you're not seeing your teacher, you might have to go into that the bottom 3 dots at the bottom right corner that allowed you to change the layout so that they can be seen.
Thank you. Next question. Can this webinar be rewatched?
It is being recorded and will be available to be rewatched. So I would look for it on the williampenn.org website, like the homepage for the district.
Another question. I'm not sure we will be able to answer this. It's not technology directly. When will the kids get their school paper? So I'm guessing you mean the letter.
Like the letters for their teacher assignments?
Yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah, so unfortunately, we do not have that information. So we are gathering the questions and are putting them on a frequently asked questions document. So again, check the homepage for William Penn, and that document with the frequently asked questions will be posted there. So hopefully the answer will be posted on there.
We had a bad experience with classrooms earlier in the year. Is it more friendly now or pretty much the same?
Google is working hard at making improvements. So, and I know that the teachers are working hard too to try to incorporate some different things within their classrooms this year. So while we can't change the functionality of the basic structure of Google Classroom, we're hoping to have more incorporated with the classroom, so it's a little bit better than what was done in the spring, since we've had more time to plan.
When will we be able to pick up the Chromebooks?
I believe that information is on the website.
Yes, I believe it's going to be next week, but it may be different per each child, so you may want to check up on that on the website. Well, that's another one we'll add to the questions. We have kind of a general question. How will the kids learn?
So they'll be doing the synchronous and asynchronous learning. So they'll be given activities to do while they're working with their teachers, as well as like independent work, much like they would in school. I know that K through 6 with the new ELA program that we have, that there are workbooks and things that are going to be utilized, and much of the ELA program is available online. So, and it connects easily with Google Classroom, and so those are the resources that we'll be using for, at least for ELA.
Will the student get a meet and greet with their teachers before class starts? I'm not sure if we have that.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that information. I would say check out with your homeschool, because tonight's mostly about just the technology piece, so we don't have a lot of those like questions specific to the elementary schools.
Will I have after school homework?
That would be probably depend upon the teacher that you're assigned to, how they just choose to assign work and work through the work within that asynchronous and synchronous time.
That's all the questions I have. Oh, here's one. Is there a limit of the amount of children online? Is there a limit of the amount of children online? I'm not sure. If you mean during a Google Meet, I don't believe so. I believe they can have everyone in their class online simultaneously.
Right. I think the Google Meet can go up to 250 people. So each classroom teacher will have their own Google Meet session. So just like, kind of like if you're in the brick and mortar building, if your teacher has the 25 students in front of them in the class, those will be the students that will be invited to the Google Meet and will have access to the teacher at that time.
This one is more dress code, I believe. What will kids wear?
You just have to think that when you're, when we're on these sessions and on these cameras, that it just needs to be something that's appropriate for school.
Regarding the Chromebook Pickup, I usually get mail from the district. Will I need to log on to the website every day to check, or will I receive the normal mail on when to pick up?
Again,
that's a good question. I think that's something that we should be posing to the district for follow-up. How long will each meeting last?
Again, there's not a specific set amount of time. That will depend on, just kind of like when you're in the classroom. Some lessons where teachers give the basic information are longer than others, so it'll fluctuate from time to time, but the expected time that students are online is from 9 to 2, and then different activities will occur throughout that time.
If there's more than one child in the household, will they have to share the Chromebook?
This year, the William Penn school district is a one-to-one technology school district, so every student will have their own Chromebook.
Can I message my teacher?
There are opportunities to message your teacher. You can use your email, the williampennsd.net email, or they can do it through the Google Classroom. There's a way that you can reach out to your teacher through Google Classroom as well.
Will there be someone in the main office that could talk via phone, that we could talk to via phone if we have a question?
Can you say that one again?
Will there be someone in the main office that we could talk via phone if we have a question?
Or I'm assuming the question means that our secretary's present during this?
I would imagine.
And I'm not 100% sure about that one, what their schedules look like or what their expectations are.
How do I know who my teacher is?
Just like any other year, you should be finding out in the upcoming weeks who your students are assigned to.
What about Class Dojo? Will it still be available to communicate?
Go ahead.
I was just going to say that is, I believe, a school decision, and I don't think if your teachers have used that in the past at the school that you're at, I believe they'll still be utilizing that. But that would be up to the teacher again. Will there be breaks in between the class for lunch or to use the bathroom?
And yes, I mean, lunch is within the schedule, and then 2 bathroom breaks are in there. The time that's being spent online, it's kind of like in the classroom, like it's up to the teacher how to determine like their breaks and everything, but students will be given time to go to the bathroom and to have lunch.
Will the district provide textbooks for virtual learning?
Like I said, I know that the ELA program has some workbooks that go along with it, but I'm not sure as far as textbooks.
I believe that's all the questions we have so far. Oh, someone says one more question coming.
So good evening, this is Tim McKay and I'm the Director of Curriculum and Instruction for William Penn. Elementary students will have their consumable reader-writer companion at home with them. All of the stories at all of the levels are online, so they will not get a hard reading textbook at home. Excuse me. They will also take home their math workbook A. We have 2 per year, an A and a B. So A is coming home. And students will have science and social studies through a variety of methods, but we will be utilizing a program this year called Studies Weekly, which is completely online as well as a newspaper format. So supplies will be coming home with the Chromebook for students to be using.
Regarding the Chromebook Pickup, I just need to know if the parents need to log on to the website so I can make sure I do that every day, or will the district correspond via mail?
Again, I'm not sure about, oh, go ahead, Tim.
So you should be getting some sort of communication from the district about Chromebook pickup times.
Are all the apps needed? Are they already installed on Chromebook? Yes, all the Google apps come standard with the Chromebook. A Chromebook is really just like one big Google machine. So all those ones, including Classroom, Meet, and all those things, you will not have to install yourself.
Right. Should you choose to use like a tablet or a smartphone to access things, you will have to download the apps on there to make it function to the best ability. But the Chromebook, like she said, they're already preloaded on.
If things were to change, how would the transition be from online learning to in-person learning?
So that decision will be made and will be publicized very frequently and often. We have not had that decision made yet at the district level, and the data trends will inform the discussion and the decision, but the district will be in constant contact with families and the public about upcoming plans.
Will the online class be easy for my 5th grader to navigate on his own while I'm at work?
It depends on the level of your student. And if they're tech savvy, they should, I mean, most kids today know how to navigate the software or the devices. There might be a small learning curve in the beginning just to figure out where things are, how they need to, click on what they need to click on and navigate that. But most, I mean, I can't speak for sure what, to your student specifically, but at least the navigation piece of it, it's not too tricky once they get familiar with it. And I know that the teachers that I've spoken to, that that they're planning on spending a little bit of time, at least initially, showing the kids how to navigate the system so that they can learn the system and not just start with them knowing how to use the system.
Do I have to get a Chromebook even if I have a laptop?
One's available for you. If you choose to use your home device, then that is definitely up to you, but just know that there are Chromebooks available for every student in the district.
My daughter attended ESY and still have the Chromebook. The district office was closed without further notice. Will we have to exchange her current device for any updating?
Oh, that one I do not know the specific answer to.
That one, I'm sorry, I can't let you know that right at this moment. I will check with the tech department and we will put that in the FAQs, and it will be posted on the website so that you can check out that answer. But there will be an answer for that.
That's all the questions we have at this point.
All right. So unless there...
Oh, here's one more. My son has learning support. How will that be implemented?
Well, it's tonight, like we said in the beginning, that they will be addressing all of the the basics of the technology. So that would be something more specific to your son that you'll have to, that will be a discussion between you and the case manager for your student. All right, so I will go back to this here, just so if you guys didn't get a chance to write it down before, I would recommend writing that down and pinning it to your device, just so that you have it, because like I said, for each of the 4 topics that we went over tonight, it just has some, a quick infographic, like a visual for how to log on for each one of those things, and a short video to try to navigate some of the basics of logging on to the Chromebook and using the Google Meet, Google Classroom, and Gmail. So if there's no more questions for tonight, we just wanted to say thank you for coming and attending the session tonight, and to know that we're all in this together. Don't ever feel like if you have any questions that you can't reach out. Start with your teacher, and if they don't know, they can reach the appropriate party. But we're all in this together. We're here to support each other, and you know, we just have to kind of take it day by day, and sometimes I've been saying hour by hour, because things keep changing so rapidly. So
Looks like we have one more comment here. I'm not sure if it's a question, or it says, I registered my daughter for Cyber Academy, but were contacted and asked if that's what I want. Can you elaborate a little further on that?
So Mr. Denenza, who is running the cyber school this year, was re-verifying with all of the parents that signed up for cyber school that they did in fact want to participate in that program, after the district announced that we were going to go completely virtual, at least for the time being. So because it was going to be cyber online and virtual online, he was just checking to make sure that everybody still wanted the choice that they had selected when they selected cyber. You can contact him if you'd like to discuss anything further at the web address, at the email address that Ms. Archer and Ms. Christopher had up back towards the beginning of the presentation.
They followed up with asking the question, what is the difference between the virtual and cyber? I think Ms. Archer covered that at the, yeah, there we go.
So like I said in the beginning, that Cyber Academy required prior registration, and that once the buildings are reopened, that the people who did register for Cyber Academy and are attending Cyber Academy will continue online even when the buildings are open. Virtual is what's happening since the school buildings are closed. So when the buildings reopen, these students will return to the buildings and not be online anymore.
Also, there was another person, I signed up for Cyber Academy, but did not get a follow-up. I guess, again, we could direct you to those email addresses on the slide there. Is there a reminder or alarm built in for students whose parents can't be home to oversee them to help keep the children on track when they're on break, etc.?
I'm not aware of any reminders within the Google platform. I know that what's been helpful for me personally is that just setting alarms like on other devices that we have to help keep my kids moving along.
Will there be another webinar? Yes, we do have a couple more of these scheduled. Let me check. So did you have the times and the dates offhand for those webinars?
Let's see here. There's one on Wednesday, next Wednesday, September 9th at 4:30. It's the only one that I have written down here.
And Tuesday morning at 9 o'clock.
Great, thank you. You said for the students to contact their teachers for questions. Has the teacher information been sent out to the students, because I have not received that yet?
Student information or student teacher assignments should be upcoming, but I don't believe that they've been sent out at this time.
And that was the last one that we have there.
Right. So like I said before, thank you all for coming tonight. We will get through this together. Everybody's, you know, kind of in it together. So thank you for attending, and I hope that this is helpful for you. If not, I mean, if you have any more questions, like I said, your first point would probably be your classroom teacher, or like I said, the app is a good place to start too, because it has a lot of the basic information of how to log on things. And just, you know, I know I mentioned it a couple times, but if you're having troubles or not troubles with accessing thing, or it's getting like a pop-up that says it's restricted, I would make sure that if you're on your personal device, you're logged out of all other Gmail accounts.
We have one more question coming regarding the schedule. Give them a moment to type. I did not take note of the times this will be sent to the parents.
The schedule that was presented is just a kind of a guideline. It wasn't a standard. So the schedule that your child will be following will be more or less, it will be developed by your child's teacher.
How about the children's grades from last year? Not sure. Not sure what your question.
Right, we don't have that kind of information tonight, because tonight we were focusing on virtual learning basics.
Okay. How will specials be incorporated? That is, I believe, the schools are still working on that right now. They were still in the process of figuring that out. But again, that'll be, they will be incorporated. Your child will have specials, but as far as specifics on that, I'm not sure if we can answer that at this time, but we can also push that out to FAQs that are hopefully answered in the near future.
Specials will be incorporated. So that, again, that's being developed by the groups of specialists at the elementary level, but specials will occur throughout this online experience for everybody.
All right, so since we've answered all the questions in the chat and in the question and answer, thank you all for attending tonight. And we are looking forward to sharing this experience with you this year. And we will see your students on September 14th, and have a great evening.